Dear students, good morning. Yesterday we had a first session. In first session we have discussed the probable questions may ask in the forthcoming examination. So that today I am going to cover the syllabus which is not covered in the early days. That is contour integration. So the contour integration is one of the important result which is very useful in the evaluation of real line integrals. Not only complex line integrals, but it also useful in real line integrals, for which we require Cauchy-Residue theorem. Cauchy-Residue theorem is the most powerful tool in the evaluation of any type of integral, whether it is complex or real line integral. So what is Cauchy-Residue theorem? What happens here, to prove Cauchy-Residue theorem or to apply Cauchy-Residue theorem, we have two things here. What are these? First thing is here, the contour must be simple closed curve or it is closed contour. Whether it is simple closed curve or circle or it is, however it is closed, it must be closed. One thing. Second thing is the force of f of z must be lying inside the boundary of the contour. If any function, complex function satisfy these two conditions, then we are able to apply Cauchy-Residue theorem. So what it is, I will just state it, I am not going to write here. If f of z is analytic within a simple closed contour whose boundary is any simple closed curve C, except at point number of poles which are lying within the contour C, then we write here, in C of f of z dz is equal to 2 phi I into sum of the residues at its poles. Sum of the residues at its poles. This is what we have statement of Cauchy-Residue theorem. So that this is most powerful tool. However, we have already proved Cauchy integral formula. This is more powerful than Cauchy integral formula. Cauchy-Residue theorem is most powerful than Cauchy integral formula, for which we require to calculate only residues. If you are able to calculate residues, you are able to evaluate your complex line integral. So this is what you have seen already. So for example, let us take a simple example here. Suppose we have here inla C of 1 by z square plus 3 dz, where C is such that mod z is equal to something. Most simple example it is here. Or you take here this as z square plus 4 or 5 you take, doesn't matter. Let it be z square plus 5. Or you make it still simple. To make it still simple here, you can take here only z plus 5. So now what happens here? F of z is what here? Integrand. So we have here f of z equal to integrand 1 by z plus 5. To understand, I have taken a more simple example. I have made it very simple. Now what happens here? The poles of f of z are given by what here? The poles of f of z are given by z plus 5 equal to 0. This implies z equal to minus 5. Put it under modulus, where it is positive or negative we are least bother. Value of z is positive or negative we are least bother, but it is equal to 5. And here, C is a circle. C is a circle. Look at this here. Given curve is a circle with center at the original radius only mod z equal to 2. Means where z equal to minus 5 lies. Z equal to minus 5 lies here outside. This is 2, this is minus 3, minus 2, minus 4, and this is somewhere minus 5. Look at here. The pole is outside the given circle mod z equal to 2. So automatically f of z is analytic everywhere within a given curve, given circle, C is such that mod z equal to 2. Therefore, what happens here? By Cauchy's theorem, value of the integral, by Cauchy's theorem, value of the integral is equal to 0. It vanishes automatically. So that in such cases, no need of applying Cauchy-Residue theorem actually. But if you make it as here, suppose if you make it as here, take another example. we want to evaluate C of 1 by z square minus 3z plus 2 equal to 0, where C is such that mod z equal to 3. Where C is such that mod z equal to 3. Then what happens here? We have, let us take here solution. Let us take that f of z be equal to 1 by z square minus 3z plus 2. First of all, we shall find the poles of f of z. So the poles of f of z are given by So first we shall find here poles of f of z. So the poles of f of z are given by denominator equal to 0, z square minus 3 given by z square minus 3z plus 2 equal to 0. So this imply factorize this here is a quadratic simple, so that you factorizing, so this imply here z minus 1 into z minus 2 is equal to 0. So this imply z equal to 1 and z equal to 2. Z equal to 1 and z equal to, look at this here, z equal to 1 and z equal to, if you draw the figure here, automatically the given curve is what here, mod z equal to 3 means here, center at origin and radius 3 units. Have a rough diagram. So this is 1, this is 2 and this is mod z equal to 3, means this point is 3. So that here mod z equal to 3. And look at this here, both the poles lying here inside. In such situation, we are able to apply Cauchy's residue theorem to evaluate this integral. So that now we have to mention about nature of the poles here. Here z equal to 1 and z equal to 2, both are simple poles. And both lies inside C such that mod z equal to 3. Therefore, we are able to apply here Cauchy's residue theorem. So that I will write here. Therefore, by Cauchy's residue theorem, value of the integral z square minus 3z plus 2 dz is equal to 2 pi I into residue at z equal to 1 plus residue at z equal to 2 plus residue at z equal to 2. So now if we are able to find here residues, or we are able to calculate residues here, we are able to evaluate value of the complex line integral without any process of integration at all. Simply we have to calculate here residue at z equal to 1 and residue at z equal to 2. Now call it as 1. Now residue at z equal to 1, and look at here nature of the pole. It is a simple pole. Since it is a simple pole, here we have a method here. What it is? Limit at z equal to 1 of f of z. What it is here? Z minus 1 into f of z. What f of z is here? Z minus 1 into z minus 2. Automatically as z test 1, z minus 2 gets cancelled. We have this equal to, evaluate here, we have 1 by 1 minus 2 is equal to minus 1. Residue at z equal to 1 equal to minus 1. And next, residue at z equal to 2 is equal to limit z test to 2 of same procedure, z minus 2 into f of z. What f of z here? 1 by z minus 1 into z minus 2, so that automatically these two gets cancelled. So what is the value here? Okay, evaluate 1 by 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So put these values here, automatically you will get a value of the integral. Substituting the residues in 1, substitute the residue in 1 here, automatically we have here, put these values here. So this equal to 2 phi I into residue at z equal to 1 equal to minus 1 plus residue at z equal to plus 1. Automatically this equal to 2 phi I into 0 is equal to value of the integral is equal to automatically 0. This is how we can make use of Cauchy-Riemann theorem to evaluate complex line integrals. Now we are not only applying Cauchy-Riemann theorem to evaluate complex line integrals, we are able to evaluate real line integrals by making use of Cauchy-Riemann theorem. How? So for which here first we have to convert or transform real line integral in terms of complex line integral. See for example here, suppose you want to evaluate here, remember a to b of 1 by, or you take 0 to 2 pi, doesn't matter, 0 to 2 pi of 1 by a plus b cos theta into d theta, which you have already evaluated here. So that to evaluate this integral here, we make use of substitution tan x by 2 equal to t. So that we define here cos theta tan x by 2 equal to t. Then we define cos theta, sin theta, dx, y and so forth. But what happens here? It is too tedious and too laborious. To avoid the difficulty here, we convert this real integral in terms of complex integral. So that is what we have here. These are the most complicated integrals which we evaluate by means of applying Cauchy-Riemann theorem. That is what we call contour integration. Then what do you mean by contour integration? Is a question. What is contour? Is a question. Integration is a process. What do you mean by contour? Is a question. So when we characterize contour is a question. I define here, simple definition here, a piecewise differentiable curve is called contour. Best example to understand what is contour is here, circle. Take any circle of any radius. It is one of the best example for contours. Because take at each and every point of that circle here, at each point direction of tangent go on changing. Such curves are said to be contours. It may be open or closed, but circle is closed. So that to apply Cauchy theorem here, we require always closed contour or closed curve. That too symbol closed curve. Okay. So this is how we define contour. Contour we mean here a piecewise differentiable curve is called a contour. So that now we shall make use of this contour integration to evaluate real line integrals. So there are mainly two types of real line integrals. One is it is 0 to 2 pi of 1 by a plus b cos theta d theta, or 0 to 2 pi of 1 by a plus b sin theta d theta. Second thing is here, second one is minus into plus infinity. Minus into plus infinity of f of x dx. And here both are theta or x. You can take any variable you wish. So theta or x here. So this is one type, either 0 to 2 pi of 1 by a plus b cos theta d theta, or 0 to 2 pi of a plus b sin theta d theta. Second one is here minus into plus infinity of f of x dx. So these are somewhere we struggled a lot to evaluate such type of integrals. Earlier we already evaluated real line integrals. However, these if we transform these real line integrals in terms of complex integral here, it is easy to evaluate these type of integrals. So that we shall share how it is, how contour integration or how Cauchy theorem is applicable to evaluate such type of integrals. Okay. So that first we shall take care this one. Title is Evaluation of Real Line Integrals. Real integrals or real line integrals? Both are one and same. Evaluation of real line integrals. First one, evaluate in 0 to 2 pi of f of, in general, f of cos theta, sin theta, d theta. Here, generally, I will take here integrand is here f of a function of cos theta and sin theta, where f is a rational function. F is a function of sin theta and cos theta. Call it as 1. Call it as 1. Simple procedure. Now, to evaluate, what you do, you can call it as I. I stands for here integral. So now to evaluate 1, first we transform. Real line integral in terms of complex line integral. In terms of complex line integral, by the substitution z equal to e raised to I theta. Here, by the substitution, we transform real line integral in terms of complex line integral by means of a substitution z equal to e raised to I theta. Madam, is it okay? Huh? Now you may ask me a question, why I have to make only this substitution? Because here z is e raised to I theta. You may ask me a question, so that I will explain here why I have to choose only this substitution is a question. So z equal to e raised to I theta. Look at your integrand. F is a function of cos theta and sin theta, and here it is a complex number is in the form of it is in exponential form. Okay, this we write it as trigonometric form here. It is cos theta plus I sin theta. So that here to convert cos and sin in terms of z here, we make a substitution here z equal to e raised to I theta. Okay, so that therefore mod z equal to mod e raised to I theta is equal to 1. Modulus of e raised to I theta is equal to 1. Probably you know it, because put make use of definition of modulus here, automatically it will become here square root cos square theta plus sin square theta. But cos square theta plus sin square theta is 1. Show that here mod z equal to mod e raised to I theta is always equal to 1, where theta vary from 0 to 2 pi. And look at this here, mod z equal to 1 we mean here it is a unit circle. Mod z equal to 1 means here it is a unit circle. It is a circle. It is a circle with center at origin radius 1 unit. And look at this here, theta vary from 0 to 2 pi. 0 to 2 pi. Complete one rotation is here. Range of inclination is from 0 to 2 pi. Therefore, now still we have here, now I remove these things. Here we have z equal to e raised to I theta. Now to convert here real integral in terms of complex integral here, what happens here? We require here d theta. Therefore, difference here dz equal to I e raised to I theta d theta. But we want d theta here. Therefore, d theta is equal to dz upon I into e raised to I theta, or dz upon I into e raised to I theta is what here? Z. So that d theta is equal to dz upon iz. So now we are able to transform here this real line integral in terms of complex line integral. Therefore I transform here. this real line integral in terms of complex line integral. How it is? Now 1 becomes, or now substituting in 1. Substituting in 1. What will happen here? I stands for integral, is equal to integration from range application here 0 to pi. Here it becomes here unit circle interlog C of f of z. What it is here? F of cos theta. Of course, one more thing here. I will write here. Here z equal to e raised to I theta is cos theta plus I sin theta, right? And 1 by z equal to 1 by e raised to I theta, or e raised to minus I theta is what here? Cos theta minus I sin theta. Now add these two. Adding these two here, what will happen here? Z plus 1 by z equal to 2 cos theta, or cos theta is equal to what here? Cos theta is equal to z square plus 1 divided by 2z after simplification. So cos theta in terms of z is what here? Z square plus 1 by 2z. And subtracting here z minus 1 by z equal to what it is here? Z square minus 1 divided by 2iz. Sorry, is equal to z minus 1 by z. Subtract this in this here. Automatically what will happen here? Cos theta gets cancelled here. You will get here 2i sin theta. Therefore sin theta is equal to what it is here? Z square minus 1 upon 2iz. So sin theta is z square minus 1 by 2iz. Cos theta is what here? Z square plus 1 by 2z. Substitute for cos theta sin theta here. So what will happen here? F of cos theta, it is z square plus 1 divided by 2z, and this is z square minus 1 by 2iz into dz. What the d theta is here? D theta is equal to dz by iz. So that this real integral we have converted in terms of complex integral. Once it is complex integral, we are able to apply either Cauchy-Riemann theorem or Cauchy integral formula. But I tell you here, I repeat it, I underline it. Cauchy-Riemann theorem is more powerful than Cauchy integral formula. So that we shall apply here Cauchy theorem to evaluate such type of complex line integrals. I mean, to evaluate such type of real integrals, we supposed to apply here. We supposed to first convert or transform real integral in terms of complex line integral by means of a substitution z equal to e raised to I theta. So this is how we first transform real integral in terms of complex integral, and then we have to evaluate. So that now I will take, okay students, this is how we transform real integral in terms of complex integral by means of substitution. Okay, so that nothing is difficult here. Simply we have to make use of this here. I told you why we have to choose only this substitution, because in the integrand the function is a point of cos theta and sin theta. So cos theta and sin theta are the parts of point dz. Or you want what we require here? We require cos theta, sin theta and d theta. So if you are z equal to determine d theta here. D theta is what here? Differentiate this. So you will get here d theta equal to dz by iz, and define here cos theta and sin theta. We know already what z is to I theta. This is in terms of trigonometric form here cos theta plus I sin theta, and 1 by z is 1 by e raised to I theta, e raised to minus I theta. So it will be cos theta minus I sin theta. Adding these two, you will get here z plus 1 by z equal to 2 cos theta, or cos theta equal to simplifying this here z square plus 1 by 2z, and subtracting this in here, automatically z minus 1 by z is 2i sin theta, or sin theta equal to z square minus 1 by 2i. So put all these things here in this, so that we will get here I equal to, from this substitution here, theta always vary from 0 to 2 pi. Take any circle here, always theta vary from 0 to 2 pi. So that what happens here, this we transform it here, automatically I becomes like C of f of cos theta is this, sin theta is this, and d theta is dz by iz. So that this becomes now here, this becomes here complex line integral. Once if it is complex line integral, we are able to apply Cauchy-Diffie theorem. I hope it is clear for all of you. It is clear for all of you. So that we shall go to problems.